Well, we finally don't have another pair of Air Jordan 1s, but it's kind of close enough, right? I mean, right? Hey, what's going on everyone? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these bad boys right here. They're actually coming back. Nothing seems to be sacred anymore, except for the things that you absolutely want. Like, where the are the black and royal penny twos? Come on, man. But these guys right here are the Nike Dunk Low. They're going to be a quick strike this time around, at least that's what's labeled on the box. But before we get started, we do have a quick word from the day's sponsor, Fume. Fume wanted us to let you guys know that they exist so that you can take your bad habit and turn it around. Instead of electronics and vapor, Fume uses flavored air. It's completely natural and free of harmful chemicals while also using natural flavors. There are plenty of which to choose from, and most people tend to gravitate towards the orange vanilla. Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers a lot to do, which is helpful for de-stressing while breaking your bad habit. If you are interested in checking out Fume, make sure to head over to tryfume.com, or you can scan the QR code which you see right here on your screen. Don't forget to use the promo code that you see here as well. It'll save you 10% when you check out the Journey Pack. That's tryfum.com, and again, make sure to use the promo code that you see listed right here on this screen to save an additional 10% off your order today. Now, for longtime Nike Dunk fans, this guy right here coming back might be a good thing or it might be a bad thing. It kind of depends on your perspective. But this shoe right here in this particular colorway originally released way back in 1999. It was just one of many CO.JP releases. So like when you see like an Air Jordan 1 High, I think it was like the navy ones and then the silver ones and stuff like that. And then there's a slew of dunks with the same exact label, even some Air Force Ones here and there. The CO.JP branding actually means Concept Japan. And again, this guy right here, they've been dubbed the Ultramans, which I don't know if is like 100% accurate because there's this other one that was also called the Ultramans that were kind of like more Ultraman looking than these, where instead of gray, it was kind of like a metallic-y silver. But I have seen that these were called the reverse Ultramans. I don't know if that's like accurate, but either way, they're being dubbed the Ultramans nowadays. And in case you don't know who Ultraman is, for all the dunks that have released that we've seen, and there have been a lot, like I feel like, I don't know if they've competed with the Air Jordan 1 as far as overall like releases are concerned, but it feels like there's a Nike Dunk releasing every single week. And most of them are hot garbage. And I don't mean visually. I think the shoe is gorgeous. I think it's a beautiful shoe, but you know, the materials on most of them are just really, really bad. It's just one of those shoes that Nike is easily able to slap together and feels at this point like a cash grab. Granted, every single product that releases is technically a cash grab. They're not giving it up to you for free. They want your money. So it depends on like semantics and stuff like that. I'm just saying that most of the dunks I just easily look past at this point just because I know that they're made out of cardboard and it's just all bad. I feel like it's a disservice to the model. You know what I'm saying? Like if they actually made them like this, then I'd be more inclined to buy them more often. Very similar to the Air Jordan 1. When you look at the outsole, you could definitely see the resemblance. They are slightly different as far as the outsoles are concerned, but the differences are very minor, so just on first glance, you probably wouldn't even recognize it. And then these guys have a slightly altered cup sole. Fun fact though, this cup sole and this particular outsole or tooling was used on sample Air Jordan 1s. He wore them in games. It was kind of cool. But inside the shoe, there's absolutely nothing. So it is just a hollowed out cup sole. There is no encapsulated air sole unit or anything like that. There's no Nike Air branding on the shoe. It's only Nike branding because that's them saying that it's a Nike product, but not a Nike Air based product. Now the insole on these guys is nothing special. It's just a gray piece of foam. That's something where I think that they definitely need to upgrade, and I don't mean they as in Nike, I mean they as in all brands. Please! God damn it! Now the upper is where these guys definitely differ between the regular dunks, and by the regular dunks I mean just like a lot of the ones that you just kind of see randomly on shelves. Not all of them are hot garbage, I will say, so make sure that if you're interested in a pair of dunks that you see if they're available at your store so you can touch them and that you can feel them, because some of them are actually quite nice, but most of them are not. They've even tweaked the shape of this shoe as well, which is interesting. I don't know what the deal is with the Dunk. I don't know if they're made in so many different colorways that they're gonna be made at so many different factories nowadays. But the last Dunk that I bought was this black and yellow pair, and the toe box never sat well with me. I just thought that it looked really weird. And this Ultraman version of the shoe looks a lot more like what I'm used to. So if you look at them from a top-down view, it's kind of interesting where this black and yellow joint right here is very wide and weird looking, kind of like squared off and stuff like that. Just doesn't look right. And then these guys look gorgeous. But the materials are where they really elevated things. This one again is labeled as a quick strike, so while the materials aren't premium by any means, they're very thin cuts of leather, but it is a nice soft leather. So if you're going to compare this to a Jordan 1, this is kind of like more in line with the OG line of Jordan 1. So the Jordan 1 Low OG and the Jordan 1 High OG, not the Jordan 1 Low or the Jordan 1 Mid or the Jordan 1 85. I feel like I need to be slapped because I know the differences for this stuff, but it's so weird to have to explain that all the time because believe it or not, there are so many, bro, my brother.
Yeah.
Man, look, because I know that you guys are like, bro, he's talking about the same stuff every time. I get it. It's repetitive, it's redundant, but it's because there are so many people that don't know and they don't watch our videos constantly. I don't expect them to. My brother, for example, has me as his brother went to a store that must have been inside of like an old shoe palace, like the ones with the big red ring. And I'm sorry for the side tangent, but it's a fun story. He texted me, he was just like, dude, why does Shoe Palace wrap all of their shoes in saran wrap now? And I was like, what? That's not Shoe Palace, that's a resale shop. And he was like, no, I was at the mall, blah, blah, blah. He's telling me this and I was just like, bro, trust me, that's a resale shop. Like you don't wrap shoes like that in a brand new shoe store and put them on shelves. I was just like, did you buy anything from in there? And he said, yeah. And I was like, what did you get and for how much? He sent me a picture of the most basic looking Jordan 1 mids that he spent, I'm not you, $350 on.
No! No! No!
Like, why didn't you hit me up? And he was just like, I didn't want to bother you. And I'm like, dude, what else are people like me for? I'm useless 9 out of 10 times. But if you need some sneaker information, just call me. So this is what I'm saying. Like people, especially nowadays that are just getting kind of like into shoes or maybe buy a pair once in a blue moon like he does, they're clueless, dude. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that literally. Like they don't know. They're getting conned out here by shops like that. It's wild. But anyway, the materials here are actually quite nice. If you look at the cut lines, there's actual fibers in there, like leather fibers, cowhides, if you will. When you touch it and everything, it's very soft to the touch. All of it, by the way, it's not just the outside panel and the inside panel is stiff. It's not like that this time. Like both of these feel awesome. Like I would love to wear these right now. However, much like the Air Jordan 1, there's a nylon tongue. Like I was saying before, or noting before, that the tab on there does not say Nike Air. So again, there's no Air branding on the shoe because there's no Air Tech in the shoe. Also, one thing to note, these guys right here, they do actually come with, just like that, it's kind of neat, an extra pair of laces. See, look, when you move to zero, right, Jordan brand, they don't need to come in a cardboard box. You can just put them in the shoe. We will find them. And yeah, I think that they did a really good job on these. Whoever is in charge of the Dunks and bringing back these like classic colorways like this, hats off to you because I think that that's awesome. I know that hardcore collectors dislike when this happens because it brings the value of their originals down, but shoes are made for wearing, not for ripping people off in the mall that don't know that saran wrap shoes listed at $350 should not be purchased. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically wear, that's what I would go with. And do keep in mind that if you do typically wear Jordan 1s, these don't feel like those. Like they're definitely a different shoe despite them looking very similar. So I know that some aspects might feel similar, like the cup soles, but the overall fit and structure is built on a different last. So again, you're gonna have to like break these in if you're used to Jordan 1s and stuff like that, or vice versa. And with all that out of the way, do we have a good question of the day? Not a creepy one, not a weird one, not where we're mistaking babies for biscuits. Like, what do we got here? The last one was a dope one. Okay. If you guys missed it, you should have checked it out.
What is your favorite tattoo and or most regrettable tattoo?
It's like one and the same. It's this one. This is my best friend, his signature. We used to do art together, like comic book art, and he passed away. So it's one of my favorite tattoos just because it's a memory, but obviously, all things considered, I wish it wasn't there. You?
Well, I think it's interesting that
you've just gotten into them.
I mean, but I've had them as long as you have, just not as many.
No, I know, but like your arm is like all like within the last like year or two. It feels like.
It started right before COVID, and then.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
okay.
and then every fall.
That still counts.
I'm like, ooh, it's fall time. It's time to get some more tattoos.
Oh, that's true. You go through seasons. Okay, I'll give you that.
So my favorite one, if I had to pick only one off of my arm, because I love everything that's on my arm, it would probably be my wildflowers that have the sunflower and the purple flowers.
The colorful ones.
Only because I had asked and thought about our kids, and it's not their birth flowers. It's Eric had, he was obsessed with the sunflower song from Spider-Man. And then,
Wasn't everybody.
and then our daughter, she would always run around with purple's my favorite color. And so it was just a little like, hey, this is them when they're small. I want to remember those moments. My regrettable tattoo would probably be my first tattoo. Only I wouldn't want to get rid of the memory. So yeah, the rose with the heart, just because it's Flash. We literally walked in on a whim and we're like, we're gonna get tattooed. And it's
the tattoo equivalent of getting suckered in the mall at a resale shop. So there was no like long thought out process to it. It was literally, I'm just gonna flip through this book real quick. Okay,
so
that makes sense.
But the memory attached to it, like I wouldn't want to like get rid of that. So
that's true. Yeah, I mean, I do have like other tattoos that I think are like super dope. Like this one's one of my favorites as well, but also that's tied into this one. So like it's all one and the same to me. I do think though that even if there's a bad tattoo, there's a story attached to it or a memory attached to it. So appreciate it. I know that you might look at it and be like, ooh, you know what I mean? But like, who cares, dude? But it also depends on perspective, so I get it. If you guys have any tattoos that you love and or, because it's both, right?
Both.
You got to pick one of each.
Yeah.
One that you love, one that you loathe. Regret. Yeah, feel free to sound off below in the comment section. Be descriptive too. We want to know what it is and where.
And why.
Well, you can do that also, but I really want to know where it is, because those are always fun too. Like, be like, man, I got this tattoo and it's like right there.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anyway, sound off below and let us know what you think about these guys coming back. Do you think that's a good idea? Do you regret that they're doing that because it's going to devalue your original? Or do you not care either way? Sound off in the comment section. We would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will catch you guys on the next one. So until next time, guys, have a good one.